One of the most Excel common problem that Excel users are facing is to find or to highlight the duplicate items, whether it was in a single list or in two separate lists, or even you would like to highlight the entire duplicate rows at the same table, or if you are thinking to find the duplicates using formula. And the last thing that we will explain in our today's video is how to find and return duplicates and extract them from the table into other separate range. So stay tuned. Before we start, and as usual, let me tell you that the file we will be using in this video is linked below in the description. You can download it and follow along with me step by step. Let's get started with the first example in our today's video, which is the duplicates value in a single list, which is the easiest way you can highlight and find your duplicate. If you have a list like list 1 and it's including customer IDs and you'd like to find or to highlight the duplicates value, all you need to do is to select the data inside your column, and then from home menu go to conditional formatting area, click on it, then highlight cells rules, then go to the last one, which is duplicate values. Now by default it will be selected the duplicate values and highlight it. From here you can select the custom format to customize the format for the duplicate cells, or you can choose light red, yellow, green, and anything you'd like. Then you can click OK, and now you will have this list highlighting the duplicate values or the duplicate items inside your selection. Let's go to the next one. What if we have a duplicate between two separate range or two separate columns? Let's apply the same steps. We have to select the first range and then press Ctrl, then select the second range, then from home conditional formatting go to highlight cells rules, then duplicate values. Now we can press OK, and now we will have the duplicates between these two separate lists. And that's the easiest example we can explain how to highlight duplicate items. Now let's move to the next one, which is how to highlight the duplicates rows. If we have the entire row is duplicated, is there any way to highlight these rows? Because if we try to apply the same steps here, let's try to select our entire table and go from home conditional formatting, highlight cells rules, and then duplicate values, and then we press OK. We have this view, which is totally wrong and will be misleading for you, as we need the entire to be duplicated only to be highlighted. How we can do that? When you face a situation like that, you need to have a helper column that helps you to identify or to make each row is unique row. But how we can do that? Let's see together. Let's select the cell next to our table, and then we are going to use a function CONCAT or concatenate an old version. CONCAT is a very helpful function that will allow you to combine all the data or all the cell you will select together into one cell. Why that? Because we need to have an identifier column for each row. We will start with equal, and then we will type concat. Then we can select the entire row that including the data, and then close the bracket, pressing enter. Now we have this identifier for this row. We can drag our formula to the end. Now we have an identifier for each single row. Now we can apply the steps as we explained before. So let's select the entire helper column, and then from the conditional formatting go for highlight cells rules, then duplicate values. We can press OK. Now we have all these highlighted rows are duplicated inside our table. Also, if you need to hide this helper column and keep this highlighting visible for you, there is a trick you can do it. From your keyboard, press Ctrl+1 to open format cell, and then go for custom, clear this type and replace it with triple semicolon like that, and then press OK. Now you have only the highlighted cell visible, and the text itself is hidden. Now let's move to the third example in our today's video, how we can find duplicates using only formulas. If we need to find duplicates for the first column, the customer ID only, we can do it using a function COUNTIF. How we can do that? Let's try it together. We will type equal, then COUNTIF, and then we will select the entire column. We can fix it by F4 from the keyboard, then comma. The criteria will be the customer ID itself. We will keep it unfixed, and then close our bracket and press enter. Now for any number more than 1, that means it's duplicated, and for sure we can change it to be true or false by adding more than 1. It will return true or false. So anything is true, that means that this item or this customer ID is duplicated. And if we need to figure out the entire column if it's duplicated or not, we can apply the same previous step with the current one. What does it mean? We can use CONCAT only to merge these items together into one cell to get a unique identifier for each row, and then press enter. We can drag our formula to the end. Then we can apply the COUNTIF formula. Let's try it. Equal COUNTIF, and then we will select our entire range, press F4 from the keyboard to fix it, then comma, the criteria will be the unique identifier. Then close the bracket, press enter. Now we have this entire row is duplicated, which is more than 1. Let's change it to be true or false. Let's add here more than 1 and press enter. Now let's drag it. That's it. Just a small note, you can combine this column with this column together into one formula, but it will be a little bit more complicated for the beginners. Also, you can replace true or false with the signs by adding or start your formula with if function like that, and then for the value if true from our keyboard we will press Windows and semicolon. Then we will select, for example, let's search here for stop, and then we can select this icon or this icon like that, and then add double quote, and for the value if false we will keep it as empty like that. Let's close our bracket and press enter. Now we can drag our formula. Now we have only the duplicated values is signed with this stop sign. Let's try to apply some conditional formatting based on this sign and see how we can do that. Let's select our data, and then from home let's go for conditional formatting and manage rules. Let's create a new rule and then go for use a formula to determine which cells to format, and start typing here equal this cell is equal to, let's insert the same symbol here, Windows and semicolon, then choose this icon, let's close that, and keep only the if column is fixed because we needed to check each single row, and also add this sign between double quote. Now we can select a specific formatting for these duplicate values. Let's select this one and press OK. Now we can press OK and then apply OK finally. Now each single row that is duplicated in our entire table will be highlighted with the format that we just selected. Let's move to our last example, but it's not least, because in this example I'll show you exactly how you can find and return the duplicates and extract them from the table into a separate range you will select by your own. Now we have the same table, the customer ID invoice and invoice value with the helper column is already created, and all we need to do is to extract the duplicate values into a separate range that starts from this cell. Here we are going to use a very helpful and powerful function in Excel, which is the filter function. To insert filter function, and the first thing needed in this function is an array, which including the entire data inside our table. Let's select it and press F4 to fix it. Then we will press comma to move to the next part, which is include. Now we need to include only the duplicates value. So we are going to use the formula we previously used, which is a COUNTIF. So let's try to use COUNTIF, and then we need this range only, and the criteria will be the same range. So it's loop through each single row or each single cell from this selection and see if it's duplicated in the same range. Let's close our bracket and then we will type our condition, which is more than 1. Any identifier is existing more than once, that means that it's a duplicate value. Let's press comma, and then if empty, we will keep it empty by entering or by typing double quote and close our bracket. Then we can press enter. Now we have these duplicate items. As you can see, this one is duplicated here, this entire column is duplicated, and this one is duplicated here. But if you would like to sort this result to be the duplicated values are sorted under each other, you can select your formula and start it by sort. function sort, then comma, and another one to move to the sort order. You can select whether ascending or descending order as you need. Let's close our bracket and press enter. Now you have the same result, but it's sorted. It doesn't matter whether this result is already sorted in your original table or not. Now you have your result sorted, and now you can find the duplicate values. That video was about how to find or highlight or return the duplicate values in your Excel file or in your table. If you would like to check 3 different ways to remove these duplicates, please check this video, and I'll keep its link below in the description. You can find it, and let me know in the comments below if there is any other method is missing. Hope you got a new knowledge about how to find and highlight the duplicates with many different ways. If you really did, don't forget to give a thumb up and subscribe not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And remember that the file we used is linked below in the description. You can download it and try it by yourself. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.